Hey y'all, today we're going to try a high protein cottage cheese pizza bowl recipe, and it's that viral TikTok sensation, but I've kind of glammed it up so it would be vegetarian and use some plant-based protein in it. Let's get to it. So I've got a couple glass containers. I like to use the glass containers. I'm getting rid of all my plastic containers because if you've read the news lately, the microplastics are not good and we just don't want any of that. But this is super easy to do. I don't have matching containers, so that's no big deal. But I have used this little mister spray, and you put regular olive oil in here and then you pump it so it sprays. I've already pre-sprayed my containers. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I've pre-sprayed them. But this is really, if you can find one of these, and I'll look and see if they've got them on Amazon, and if they do, I'll link them in the description below. But these are just the greatest things because, like I said, you can use your own olive oil and you don't have to pay for spray. So it's a lot more economical of a way to go when you cook a lot. So the first thing that you want to do is take 1.5 cups of cottage cheese and divide it between the two bowls. I got this Good Culture 2% cottage cheese, the low-fat kind, because I like the texture of it and it's not all soupy. So that's pretty important. My husband traditionally doesn't like cottage cheese, but he'll like this, I'm sure. It's not like he's eating it plain, right? So you want to take 1.5 cups and divide it between the two bowls. And just kind of spread it out. And you can see how I have spread it between the two bowls. And then you want to add your Parmesan cheese. I have the freshly grated kind, and just sprinkle it over the top. And then you've got 1/3 cup of organic marinara, so pasta sauce. So I use the kind from Fresh Thyme, which if you don't have a Fresh Thyme, it's kind of like a organic market. It's just a grocery store that has a lot more organic products. And I got the tomato and basil pasta sauce. And I really like this because everything in it's organic. It's really important to buy your tomatoes organic because tomatoes are filled with pesticides if you buy the conventional, and they don't wash off. So that's really important to me, and that's why we do organic tomatoes. So you want to divide this. I'm going to give my husband a little bit more because I'm not a big red sauce kind of gal. And then we have 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder and 1/2 teaspoon, it's supposed to be Italian seasoning, but I didn't have any Italian seasoning, so I just took a 1/4 teaspoon of oregano and a 1/4 teaspoon of basil and mixed it up. So we're going to then you kind of just mix this all up. I guess we could have put it in a bowl and done that and then spread it into the pan, and that might have been easier, but for this purpose, this gives you an idea of how to make 2 of them. So we've got it all stirred up. And this is what it looks like, all stirred up. So the first thing that we're going to do is I'm going to divide this up. This is Beyond Beef, and it's a plant-based protein made with avocado oil that you can see here. It's a good choice if you're trying to get in your protein and you're vegetarian, and you can just add it to any recipe or make plant-based burgers. And honestly, it's hard to tell the difference between meat and this stuff. So this is something you definitely want to look for. Now we're going to take our plant-based protein, and you see this is all cooked up. It looks like meat, right? So I'm going to sprinkle this all around here. And I think I'll save a little bit of it for the next layer. And do the same thing. This is a 1/4 cup of, I used a red pepper, but you can use green or yellow, however, whatever you like. I don't happen to like green peppers. So, and this also is organic as well, because peppers have high pesticides. We always go for organic in the peppers. And then a diced red onion. We're going to give my husband a little bit more red onion because he loves it. But you can see how you just sprinkle it on there. And I'm going to use just a little bit more marinara and just kind of put it on top. And then we'll go back and we'll do that again with just a little bit more meat or plant-based protein. A little bit more of the red pepper and the olives and what's left of the onion. And then we've got 2 tablespoons of mozzarella. Of course, you can use more, but for these purposes here, I'm using 2 tablespoons, and that way I can get a good calorie count for you on that. And we just want to, Alexa knew what time it was and started the music. So, time to chill out. Now we're just going to pop these in the oven and see what they look like. The oven's set at 425, and you want to do that for 10 to 12 minutes. We're going to pair it with a Caesar salad, and I've got sourdough bread that I'm going to toast up and cut into little pieces, and we're going to dip it with the sourdough bread because it's all gut friendly. So let's put it in the oven. So here it is, ready to go. So we just want to pop those into the oven. Another option, if you don't want to cook it right away, is you've got these little glass containers, and they have these sealable lids. Okay, I can't do it one-handed, but you get the idea. But you can pop those in the refrigerator and keep it up to 3 days, and it will be all sealed and delicious. Okay, look at that. All ready to go. I'm pairing it with just a little Caesar salad here. And of course you can do crackers or pita chips or anything like that, but I am using sourdough, like I said, and we're going to dip in here. Hopefully this isn't too hot. Oh my gosh. It's actually better than I expected it to be. Wow. That has some flavor to it. So you definitely want to try these high protein pizza balls. Pretty low in calories. I will put the calorie count in there once I get it figured out, adding that plant-based protein. But if you don't add the plant-based protein meat, it's 230 calories. That's something to keep in mind, and I will talk to you next time. If you want any more recipes, you can see this playlist up here. I've only put a few on. I'm going to start cooking with my husband, or my husband's going to show me how to cook. So anyway, thanks for joining me today, and I will talk to you later.